Hey everybody, this is Melina from Scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram and over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. And we have had a majorly busy weekend, and so my voice is very, very tired. If you don't know, on the weekends we have a music ministry and we travel all over. And this weekend we had 5 events in 4 days. So vocally I'm very, very, very tired on this Tuesday. The events were Friday night through last night, Monday night. And that's an unusually long weekend for us. Usually we have Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night. But we had a Friday night event, Saturday night event, Saturday night event, Sunday morning event, Sunday afternoon event, and then a Monday evening event. And we had sleepover company for 2 nights of that weekend. So it was a very, very busy weekend. So anyways, just forgive me for my tired voice sound. I'm going to get to this vintage book cover in just a minute. We're going to cover it, and I'm going to show you how I cover it and kind of decorate on the inside to get some of this covered, because I mean, I don't want Shoals Community College to be part of my journal that I make. And before I get to that, I wanted to show you 2 things that I had gotten in the mail. And this is from Lynn Sharbaugh, and it says, "Hello, hope all is well with you and your family. Enclosed is a bag of items for the scoops." How sweet. I enjoy watching the videos. Lots of fun and hard work you and your family do to your store and channel. You mentioned in one of your videos that you need to get a container for the small Tim Holtz bits. I enclosed a couple for you. Wow. Thank you so much, Lynn. The books are for you and your mom. Enjoy the vintage and antique books. So this is what came home to me, Lynn, and Mom has the rest of it. And thank you so, so much for sending this. I love these containers. And yes, we will use these in the scoops. We definitely need them. Look at this, y'all, that she sent. For whomever bought scoops this week, you are going to get a few handmade things here. Look at them. How pretty. I love that. We love getting donations, and people love getting things like this in their scoops. Thank you so much, Lynn. That is so sweet of you. And then I got this box. I'm going to take this out for just a minute. I'll tell you what that says in just a minute. Look at this box. Look how beautiful this is. And I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells divine. The stain on it is amazing. I got this from Precious Memory Boxes. And there is their info if somebody wants to screenshot that. They have an Etsy shop. And this is wonderful. I am going to put my die cuts and my fussy cut stuff that I have ready for this journal. I'm going to put it in here and have it as my little desk organizer. So this is from Doug and Bobby Lingle. Hope I said that right. Dear Edith and Melina, thank you so much for your wonderful, inspiring videos. I have been watching both of you for about 2 years. I wanted to share with you one of our precious memory display boxes. My husband and I started our little Etsy business in 2019. My husband loves woodworking and I love crafting. Our display boxes are great to display and hold so many items. You can use them on your desk to hold tags, ATCs, recipe cards, scripture cards, memory decks cards, and so much more. They can hold ephemera and die cuts for your current projects or your office supplies like rubber bands, paper clips, and thumbtacks. You can use them as a small dresser tray to keep jewelry and change. They really are versatile. I sincerely hope you enjoy them and appreciate all you do. I was able to grab a scoop today. Speaking of scoops, Miss Bobby was able to grab a scoop today, and she says she's so excited. You ladies have such a loyal following, and everyone loves your shop. I am hoping one day to purchase one of your handmade journals. I have made a few journals, but really enjoy making ephemera, clusters, pockets, tags, and so on. I am planning to add them to our shop this year. We are also expanding our woodworking to include more crafty items, household storage, home decor, and kitchen items. My husband is retiring in March and needs to keep himself busy, LOL. I have included a business card with all of our links and social media pages, and I just showed y'all that. It says, thank you so much and have a blessed weekend. Doug and Bobby Lingle. Thank y'all so much. That is gorgeous. And it reminds me of the tag box that I made from that 12 by 12 cardstock, one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. But of course, it's much, much better quality. It will hold up a whole lot better. But y'all look, I have my tag box completely full, so I'm ready to add some of those to journals, and I need to make myself another tag box. But I will definitely be looking at your Etsy shop, because I love this to do this. Let me show you all these. Look at all of these fussy cut pieces. These are cut from that sewing, let's see, sewing journal. Yeah, sewing journal digital kit from Dark Manor. Look at that, how cute. Over on Etsy. And now that one is a little too wide, but that is a pocket I'll be putting in the journal. That was a little too wide, but that pocket fits. And then you could do, you know, your bigger stuff in the back, and it could be your little organizational tool for when you are getting all your stuff together for your journal. And it's on display there, so you know what you've got. When you start looking for something, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I got that. Let's do that. Let's use that one. Oh, I love this. Thank you so much, Miss Bobby. I love it. All right, so I have that displayed there. And I want to cover the inside of this vintage book. Now, this is one of those books that I got from Bethany's College. They were just giving away free books, old books that they no longer needed for the library. They were just giving them away for free. This one comes from Random House. It's called The Children of Sanchez, and it is by Oscar Lewis. And I've already torn out all of the pages themselves, and I will use those in other projects. And I've got it down to bare bones here. So we've got a very flimsy spine, and then really sturdy, you can hear that, really sturdy front and back covers. And I want to use some paper because this is neutral enough that it will go with that digital kit that I got from Jennifer over at Dark Manor on Etsy. So this is the Gingham Garden collection from Crate Paper that we have in the shop right now at scrapbookingwithme.com. And I wanted to pick out a couple of papers to use on the inside covers here. And I love that. That might go on the front though. But I love that. And see, it is one-sided. So that's another thing I love. I'm not covering up and not using it all. One side of the paper. Ooh, that's really pretty. That looks like a vintage wallpaper, doesn't it? That does too. Let's see. I might. That green was pretty too. Ooh, there's flowers again. Okay, so I might use that as my inside and that on the outside, and maybe I can accent with this somewhere. So let's see. I might have to have both pieces of this for inside. But oh, I love that. so pretty. It's so subtle. And then that is very subtle as like a background on the front. And then I could accent with that. So pretty. Let's do, I forgot one. Let's go ahead and cut this down. And we need to measure and see what we need. So from all the way to the side to the out is just barely under 6 inches. So a little under 6 inches wide. And then we're going a little over 9 inches tall. So a little over 9 and a little less than 6. My great precise measuring there. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope that you are content today with a very easy video for me. It doesn't take much brain power to cover up the inside of a vintage book. And that's just the kind of brainless activity I needed today on my YouTube. I just needed a little easy project. Now let's see if that is about the right size. I've got a little bit of feathering because I need to change my blade on my trimmer, but I'm okay with that. I'll go in there, and it just looks distressed to me, so it's fine. Oh yeah, that's good. You can still see a little bit of the book cover, bottom, top, and on here on the outside, but then it comes all the way out here, so that's good. Now let me see if I can get one other piece, and I surely can. Yay! So we don't have to use one of the other pieces. And I will just pencil line there. Somebody's going to say, well, why don't you just do the same measurement with the other piece like you did the first one? I like doing this just so if I have a brain toot toot when I get that trimmer and I go to the wrong measurement, then that way I can go, oh, wait a minute. You need to cut it right there, Melina. You know, am I the only one that has brain toot toots? I know I'm not. And then the only thing I have trouble with is then finding the pencil mark. There it is, almost at the very end. Right there. Just barely a little bit off the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to put them up beside each other just to make sure that they are the same size, and they are. And then hope that this side is the same size as that side. And we're good. Oh, that's pretty. Already it's pretty. Yay. Okay, I think I will go ahead and use my nail, and I'm going to get off all of this feathering, or try to get most of it off before I start to do my distress inking. And I think I will use, decisions. What distress ink to use? I love my browns, but I'm almost thinking that I want to use hickory smoke, that gray. Let's just do a little piece on here and see what it looks like. Yep, I love that. It's very subtle. I can still use vintage photo or gathered twigs or, you know, walnut stain. That's my 3 brown go-tos. I can still use that throughout if I want to also. But I really like that hickory smoke on the insides here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off these little feathery bits, and I'm going to hickory smoke around the edges and maybe get a little deep and dirty on some of the edges, and then I'll be right back. Okay, then I'm going to get out my score tape, and I'm going to put score tape all over the back of these, and then I'm going to take the backs off, put a little bit of fabric glue around too, so it gives me a little bit of movement before it gets set to put it down there. But I love the way score tape holds when I'm doing something, especially on a hard surface like this. So I'm going to use that to put down my scrapbook paper. Okay, so here is the first one. And I'm just going to try to line it up as straight as possible. I've got one strip here without any score tape, and then I'm going to go around the edges with my fabric glue. And the edges of the book are fabric, that is why I'm going with fabric glue. But if you don't have fabric glue, you use whatever liquid glue you have on hand. It will eventually work. I know that. I have used other things before, and just go with what you've got. Don't worry about having to have exactly what I have when I make my projects. Okay, I'm going to find my bone folder, and we're going to really burnish this down so it stays and we don't have any problems. Bone folder, there you are. And that edge right there, just get it really good. And then if you need to kind of work it on the edge of the hard cover. Okay, so there's one. Now let's do two. So those are on, and now I want to sure up this spine just a little bit because it is very flimsy. It's just the material, you know, that is attached to the front and back covers. So I do want to sure that up just a little bit. So I have some really thin chipboard. We carry these sheets in the shop at scrapbookingwithme.com. So if you need some chipboard for projects like this, we have that. And I have cut it just a little more narrow than what the spine actually is, so that way when we close up the book we don't have any bowing or you know, any kind of resistance right through here. So I love that. I'm going to go ahead and just ink the edges of this. Not that it's probably ever going to be seen much, but I still haven't decided how I'm going to put my signature in, if I'm going to go actually through this and the stitches show on the outside, or if I'm going to do a floating signature. So I'm just going to, just so that it's done, if I need it, I'm going to ink around the edges of that. Then I'm going to use fabric glue to put that down and just really soak it with the fabric glue. And you want, when you put it down on that spine, you want it to squish. You want it to soak in and squish. And gets in every little corner of that spine. Okay, let's put it down. And then just move it around how we need to. I'm going to hold it up to me so I can see. Okay, this corner maybe needs to go up just a tad. And hold it up one more time to me. And then hold thing up just a little bit. Yep. That looks good to me. Now we're going to let that dry. It is looking fabulous so far, in my opinion. Okay, so when we close it up like this, we've got a nice triangle shape, and that spine is shored up and can be seen. I love that. I don't know that I'm going to do any covering up of that. That's why I do believe I will do a floating signature in this. So I'll sew the signature to another piece and then glue that piece onto the top of that. So that's probably how that's going to work. Then I'll show you what my pages for my signature look like thus far. And this is just the full pages. So I will be adding some little short pages and book pages and things like that throughout the book too. Let's see, that is not. That is another. That is some more ephemera from this kit that I'm using. And then these are the postcards from With Love L on Etsy. I've got to still fussy cut those out to add in here because I want to use some of those. But this is the papers from the sewing journal kit on Dark Manor Etsy shop. And then I have the vintage linens from With Love L on Etsy. Look how pretty those are. So those are my full pages that's going to go inside here. And yes, this is going to go sideways, and I'm totally fine with that. And I'm totally fine with the white on the back too. On these, I did double side print most of them, but some of them will have a white back, and I'm fine with that. In between the pages, there will be some little book pages. I'm going to do probably some dyed notebook paper. I'll do probably a couple of pages of tea stain paper, and what I will do is cut these down smaller than these, so that way when you flip through, you've got a lot of interest. It's not just, oh, every page is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that's been folded. We want lots of interest throughout our signature. So I'm going to put that together while that's drying, and then I'll show you what that's going to look like once we get it put in there. I'm going to do a 3 signature in this journal, and so I have my 3 set together. Each one has 8 pages with a book page middle. So 8 of the digital pages, some drawing paper in there, some tea stain paper in there, and then in the middles of each one I have a folded book page, and then there's that one. So yeah, each one has 8 pages plus a folded book page in the middle. And what I will do is get a 1.5 inch strip that is just a little bit taller than these, so I'll probably do it like 1.5 inches wide by 8 3/4 inches tall, and I will line up where I need my 3 holes in each signature, and I'll attach it to that piece. So I can go ahead and get surely I've got a craft piece of paper or something around here, cardstock that I can use for that, just to show you, give you a visual. Alright, I figured out what I'm going to do as far as how to attach it. I'm going to ink around this. You're going to be able to see the ink that I did put on that chipboard piece. Yay! So I didn't do that inking in vain. I'm going to ink around this little piece, and it's going to have my signature sewn into it, and then I'm going to attach it with fabric glue and probably some score tape, and it's going to go down in the middle of that spine like that. So I'm still going to have that nice free spine, but I will have 3 signatures sewn into it, and you won't see any stitching on the outside of the book. So I will line up with a ruler on this piece where I need to sew in all of my signatures, and I'll get them sewn into that. They'll look something like this, but will be centered up. So they'll be sewn in like that. You'll have the stitching, the wax thread on the back side here, and then this will get glued down on there. So that's how I'm going to do my signature. Let's go now to the outside. And oh yeah, I like that. I like how that's looking. I like how it is in like the perfect triangle symmetrical shape. I love that. Here on the outside, I'm thinking this paper to go along there. I really love that. It's a nice neutral color. We can come in with some fabric and do a fabric piece on it too that's a little more colorful, but we can have this as our pretty neutral background. So I need to cut two pieces, one for the front, one for the back, and I'm going to trim it at just a little under 6 inches, probably same as the inside. And then I will do, yep, just a little over 9 inches. Little over 9 inches, little under 6 inches wide. So on the outside, I went ahead and put those pieces of scrapbook paper on there. And then I have a piece of fabric, just made it into a pocket. And then this is an old table runner, lace table runner, and I just put that on the edge there and left it free here because I want to be able to put stuff down into this pocket. So that would be kind of like how something could be put down in the pocket like that. And then to decorate this pocket, and do something like this, and that can be kind of tucked up underneath that lace. I like how that looks, and I like the strings up above the pocket like that. So we will, I don't know why that's so bright right there for whatever reason. Anyway, we will get that glued down. So there is the front, and I'll have you a still shot at the end too, and the pocket in the front, and then open it up, and you've got that inside cover, you've got that back inside cover, and then we will get our signature all put in, so it will eventually be something like this. I'm loving how it's looking already, how it's coming together. Thank y'all for watching, and we will cover some more in this in a future video. This will be, let's see, what are we going to name this one? This one's going to be my vintage sewing kit journal. Let's do that. Vintage sewing kit journal. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Bye, y'all.